What's up everyone and welcome to another Warframe video. Today we're going to be taking an opportunity to revisit the solo Plaguestar farm in an attempt to try and make it as quick and efficient as possible if you're running it solo. It's actually using mostly the same strategy as last year, or well last time, with the Wisp, Piranha Prime and the Sarper. However, there's been one new element introduced into Plaguestar since last time that has changed things a fair bit, and that's the Archwing changes. More specifically, the Elytron. So let's quickly run through the builds. There's 4 here, so I won't go into them super in-depth since they're fairly self-explanatory for the most part. Let's start with the star of the show, Wisp. We're going to be building her for as much strength as possible with a bit of duration. And that's going to make our buffs, more specifically the health and health regen, as well as the fire rate buffs as strong as possible. Since these are the only abilities we really care about here. Enemy radar is going to help you know where enemies are, and handspring for the 1,000 knockdowns you suffer from leapers throwing themselves at you. Mostly the same as last time, however, we've dropped some tank on our arcanes for double arcane velocity to buff up the fire rate on our piranhas. And since these both stack with each other, it turns the piranha into a bit of a buzzsaw. Talking of the piranha, it's a very standard crit build here. Corrosive damage, because that's the strongest element to be doing once you've stripped the armor. If you're not planning on stripping armor, radiation works out best, but you're always going to be best off like stripping the armor with the Sarper and then using corrosive. We also have that primed expel infested on here to boost infested damage. Also new from last time is the weapon excellence slot, in which we have steady hands. You can go with flight speed with lethal momentum if you want. That is going to make it noticeably easier to kill the heads because of the range and the increase in your fall off, but that's only if you can control the recoil. This amount of fire rate makes it almost impossible to control, at least for me, so more fall off or not, if you're not landing the shots, there's no point having that extra fall off range, and that's why I ended up with steady hands just to keep my shots on target. The Sarper's really easy, just shattering impact with a load of attack speed mods so we can strip armor off the Hemocyte as quickly as we can. There is nothing particularly special or groundbreaking here. The Elytron build also isn't particularly anything special either, pretty much the same build you have on, well, every single Archwing at this stage. I do have one super rare mod on here, Kinetic Diversion. However, this really isn't needed because you don't really take damage on your Archwing anyway. So you could switch that for something like Energy Inversion for more shields if you don't have it, which works very well instead. A couple other things I recommend bringing is a primary weapon to deal with thumpers, like a sniper for example, and Zenuric for temporal blast to slow down that thumper just makes it much easier to kill. These things are ridiculously annoying and can make a mess of your daytime runs, so it is worth having some way of dealing with them. So with the builds dealt with, it's down to the strat. Now most of this is fairly standard, but there's a couple of tricks you can actually use to speed things up. So let's start with the conversation skipping, affectionately known as the shut up Konzu. Konzu has a really annoying habit of throwing shade at Vahek before spawning them objective mark and tell you where to go. However, you can head into your Nightwave menu and then exit immediately. This prioritizes Nora's communication and overrides Konzu's transmission and will spawn the objective marker. This can shave off easily a minute or so in just spawning objective markers. It's a neat little trick, it's easily done and will make things quite a bit faster. Make sure to skip the end transmission especially, since trying to start a new Plaguestar bounty without it can actually softlock the game. This seems actually to be an issue with the bounty itself though, and not skipping any of the dialogue. But using this trick can actually stop this from happening. The grabbing of the container and the defense are pretty standard really, there's nothing really you can do to speed those up. Just remember to put both your Eidolon Phylaxis and Infested Catalysts in during the defense to spawn the 4 bosses during the final fight. However, here comes some new tricks courtesy of the recent Archwing changes, and that is using the Elytron during the drone phase and during the boss fight. The explosion from Warhead pushes targets away that are in the explosion radius, but that it does not kill. And that includes the drone that you have to escort. So one of the biggest time issues with Wisp was how long the drone phase was, because you had no real way of speeding it up over, say, like Loki with Switch Teleport or Nova with her Wormhole. But now you can shoot the ground near the drone with the 4, and it will propel it towards the direction you send it with the explosion. Can move it 50 to 100 meters at a time pretty easily. However, you do have to be careful not to yeet it into the air by accident, because it will try and rubber band itself back down to where it actually took off from. Try and keep the missile fairly close to the drone, but also try and aim it towards a good route towards a destination, and this can speed things up a lot. If you have the rank 8 gunnery intrinsic that buffs the Arcwing's range, that helps a ton as well, so it is worth getting that specifically for this. But that's not the last time we're going to use this trick either. We can use it during the boss phase as well to push the boss out of the boil even faster. It can help speed up the boss kills as well. Works exactly the same way as the drone. Put the missile close and watch it push the boss out and make them vulnerable. And then it's pretty much a standard kill. Drop down off your Arcwing, put up your buffs, strip the armor off the boss with the Sarpa. You can see when the armor is gone because the health bar will go faint red behind the grey of the invincibility. Then you kill 3 infested to proc the velocities and the passive of the Piranha, and then go to town on the boss. Once the boss is dead, jump back on the Arcwing, use your 4 to kill everything in sight to get the next boss to spawn, push the next boss out, rinse and repeat until you've completed the bounty. And that's pretty much it. Total runtime is about 10 minutes per run, or in other words 6 former an hour, roughly. This is a pretty good return on investment, and honestly, I've not had as much fun running Plague Star, well, ever. This new thing of using the Electron to boost the drone is a lot of fun, and really does make the whole thing a lot more enjoyable. And let's be honest, hearing the Piranha go off like a buzzsaw, it's a hoot, quite frankly. But that's basically it. I hope this helps you speed up your Plague Star runs, and I have a load of fun with it too. Enjoy farming up your former for the next couple of days remaining on the event. As always though, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I shall catch you in the next one.
Hemocyte, the product of the boil attempting to fight off the toxin. Kill it to weaken the infestation further.
Walls! Shut up! It's glistening magnificence. But just made it angry. Big as a house and half as smart. Knock it on the head, eh? Little maggots! You tried to protect these rats! To fail! And fail! You kicked off. Quite a sight, Dino. Well done. During these dark nights, Cetus is great.